In 2016, I started teaching English online, and I have been teaching English online ever since. And that's also when I became a digital nomad. And so I've pretty much been traveling full time since 2016. Right now, I am in Medellin, Colombia. We've been here for a month, and my partner and I, and we'll be here for another month. I'm originally from Tennessee in the U.S. I'm also a content creator, and through my travel blog, I've had the privilege of helping numerous educators like yourselves thrive in the online English teaching industry. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We have an action-packed agenda. First, we'll talk about the importance of identifying a viable niche and how to do that. Then we'll talk about how to determine the economic viability of that niche. And then we'll discuss strategies for finding students as well as online marketing techniques. And then we'll have a bit of time at the end of the workshop for Q&A before we wrap things up. Okay, so step one in growing your online English teaching business is to determine your niche and define your target audience. Now, I find that a lot of English teachers are a bit confused about what a niche is. So I'm going to pose this question to you, and I want you to answer in the chat. If you are teaching a broad range of subjects, maybe you're teaching pronunciation, business English, maybe a little bit of accent reduction, you're teaching everything. If you're teaching all of these various subjects to a broad range of students, do you have a niche in this example? David says no immediately. Yes, that's right. No, exactly. When you are teaching everything to everyone, no, you don't have a niche. And so this is step one in really figuring out how to grow your online English teaching business, because it's going to really help you hone in on your marketing and really understand who you're speaking to. So let's talk about why you should choose a niche, because a lot of English teachers that I talk to think it's better to be open to teaching anyone who wants to learn from you. A lot of teachers ask me this question that, won't you limit your business, or won't you restrict your business if you limit who you teach? This is a very, very common belief. So if this is what you think too, don't feel bad, because it's what I also thought in the beginning. The truth is, though, that this is a myth, because when you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. Choosing a specific niche does not limit your potential. In fact, it can supercharge your success, because when you focus on teaching a particular group of people, you gain a really deep understanding of their unique struggles and needs. And when you know your niche inside and out, marketing yourself and your teaching services becomes a lot easier. You can pinpoint where and how to reach your ideal students, resulting in a higher return on your marketing investment. So then, once you've determined your niche, which in a very, very simplified way, your niche is who you teach and what you want to teach them. And I also believe that your niche should evolve, because over time you evolve as a teacher, and your niche should also evolve as well. So don't feel bad if you don't immediately know right now in this second, I'm going to teach this group of students and I'm going to teach them this subject. That's okay. If you don't know right now, it takes some time to really figure it out. What I always advise people to do is just start with an age group. Do you want to teach young learners, teenagers, adults, and then think about what exactly it is you want to teach them? That is an excellent place to start, and then you can refine from there. So then step two in growing your online English teaching business is to create your online presence. The first crucial step of establishing your online presence is building a brand. And here's why having a strong and memorable brand is so important for your online teaching business. Your brand is the entire personality and identity of your online teaching business. Your brand is what students associate with you. So a distinctive brand helps you stand out from all of the other online English teachers out there. It leaves a lasting impression on your students, and it helps to build trust, and it ultimately attracts the right students. And that is our ultimate goal with having a defined niche and creating an online presence. You want to be drawing in the right students and then also repelling the students that aren't a good fit for you. So the next step in establishing your online presence is choosing the right social media platforms. Why does this matter? Not all social media platforms are created equal. So it's important to take some time to research and evaluate which platforms align best with your niche. It's best to choose the platforms where your target audience is most active rather than attempting to be active on all social media platforms. That is a fast track to burnout. So then the final step in creating your online presence is developing a professional website. Now, I don't necessarily think that you need a website first. I think it's a-okay to get set up on a social media platform and begin to really define your niche as well as your brand before creating your website. But eventually you do want to have a website, and you want to think of that website as your online storefront. Your website provides a central platform for potential students to discover more about your services and credentials. It's your space where you can showcase your teaching expertise, share testimonials, and offer educational resources. It also boosts your credibility and trustworthiness. So now that we've talked about building a strong foundation for your business, which is your niche and your brand, let's talk about the various ways to market it. So let's first talk about short-term marketing strategies, because that's how I have begun to think about it in my mind. And it's really helped me a lot in doing marketing and understanding what to know when. So we have short-term marketing strategies and long-term marketing strategies. And as you may have guessed, the short-term marketing strategies are your go-to tools for quick wins and immediate results. These tactics can boost your online teaching business's visibility and attract new students in a relatively short time frame. So let's explore 5 effective short-term marketing strategies. Those are social media advertising, promotional offers and discounts, webinars and workshops, referral program, and partnerships and collaboration. So let's first talk about social media advertising. This is a powerful way to reach a targeted audience quickly. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn offer advertising options that allow you to create and run ads tailored to your ideal students. And this is why it's really important to have a well-defined niche, because these platforms, these social media platforms, have very, very detailed targeting options. So they allow you to define your audience by demographics, interests, and behavior, ensuring that your message reaches the right people. And this is where really knowing and understanding your target audience comes in handy. Invest a budget in these ads to promote your services, webinars, or special offers for maximum impact. Now, offering limited time promotions and discounts can create a sense of urgency among potential students. So you should consider launching special offers such as a free first lesson or discounted packages or buy one, get one free, especially in the beginning of starting your online teaching business. So you can promote these offers on your website, social media, and email marketing campaigns. And don't forget to highlight the value and savings students can gain by taking advantage of these deals. Another advantage to offering these promotional discounts Number one, as I said, it creates a sense of urgency, which in marketing is really important because think about yourself. Like, generally speaking, we as human beings know we need to do something, but it takes us a long time to actually do it. Unless there's like some sort of sense of urgency, we'll just sit around thinking about how we know we need to do it until we actually finally do it, which can take a while. So that's why you have to come up with tactics to kind of push people into doing what they know they need to do. Another really great benefit of offering discounts and promotions and getting people into your classes is getting reviews and testimonials. In marketing, that's known as social proof. And that's ultimately what people look for when they're shopping for a service. Did this work for someone else? That's why like reviews on Amazon are so popular, because people want to know if this thing or product has worked for other people. And so this social proof is going to really help you build your business. Okay, so next let's talk about webinars and workshops. These are fantastic tools for showcasing your expertise and attracting new students. You can host webinars on relevant topics within your niche and promote them through your online channels. These live events allow you to engage with your audience in real time, answer their questions, and demonstrate your teaching style. So you can even consider offering exclusive discounts or bonuses to attendees to encourage signups, or you could offer them completely for free. The next short-term marketing strategy is a referral program. This is a really cost-effective way to tap into your existing student base to attract new students. So you can encourage your current students to refer friends, family, colleagues by offering incentives such as discounts or free lessons for successful referrals. You could also implement a straightforward referral system and promote it through email campaigns, social media, and on your website. I find this to be really effective because if someone has had success and really enjoyed your programs, your classes, the likelihood that their friends or family or colleagues will listen and follow their lead is the likelihood is very high. So the final short-term marketing strategy is collaborating with other educators or complementary businesses. Doing this can expand your reach very quickly. So you want to look for educators with complementary niches or businesses with a shared target audience. You can create a video together for social media, co-host webinars, exchange guest blog posts, or whatever form of content they use, whether that be a podcast, blog post, YouTube channel. You could collaborate on a piece of content there. You could help promote each other's services to your audiences. And these partnerships are really beneficial because they can introduce you to new audience and help you build credibility within your niche. Okay, so now let's move on to long-term marketing strategies. These focus on building a sustainable and enduring presence in the market. And so the first thing that I want to say about long-term marketing strategies is you create the content or you create the marketing campaign, and then it works for you over time. And so these techniques take time to yield a significant result, but they continue working for you over years even. And they can lead to continuous growth and a loyal student base. So let's explore 4 effective long-term marketing strategies that are perfect for growing your brand and reach. And those 4 strategies are content marketing, email marketing, customer reviews and testimonials, and then networking and events. So let's first talk about content marketing. Content marketing is a strategic approach to creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and engage a specific audience, allowing you to build relationships with your target audience over time. So valuable content can include blog posts, articles, videos, podcasts, infographics, ebooks, and even more. The key is to create content that addresses your audience's needs, interests, and pain points. For example, you could create content on language learning tips, grammar explanations, cultural insights, or study strategies. And by sharing your knowledge and expertise, you position yourself as a trusted resource for your audience. And over time, this builds credibility and trust, making it more likely for potential students to choose you as their teacher. And the other important thing about this sort of content marketing as a long-term strategy is that you want to make it evergreen. And so what evergreen means is that you're making your content about a topic that students or English learners are always searching for, rather than a real-time event or a thing that happens, something that's happening right now in this moment. That's not evergreen. So I just want to make that distinction. Next is email marketing. And I personally love email marketing. I have seen quite a bit of success using email marketing with my travel blog business. And now I'm beginning to incorporate it into my teacherpreneur business. And it's an incredibly powerful tool for nurturing relationships with your audience, promoting your services, and converting leads into students. This involves building an email list of interested prospects and then communicating with them regularly. Growing your subscriber list is an ongoing process of capturing leads through your website, blog, social media channels, and webinars. So you can offer free resources and guides as an incentive for signing up. Email marketing campaigns can take various forms, including newsletters, promotional emails, educational content, event invitations, and so much more. And the content can range from teaching tips, resources, success stories, student testimonials. The key is to provide value and address the needs and interests of your audience in each email you send. Also, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but when it comes to marketing, there are essentially like 3 main steps in a very oversimplified way of looking at it. There's first the connect, where people find you and become interested in what you offer. Then your next step is to nurture those people so they can really get to know you and begin to trust you, because if people don't trust you, they won't buy from you. And then finally, once you've nurtured them enough, then the next step would hopefully be that they convert, because ultimately you want your prospective students, your target audience, to know you, like you, and trust you. And once that happens, then you can begin signing up new students and really generating revenue in your business. Okay, so the next strategy is customer reviews and testimonials. These are powerful forms of social proof that can influence students' decisions. This can enhance your credibility, build trust with your audience, and attract more students to your teaching business. They show that your courses and classes deliver results. And by showcasing these testimonials on your website, social media channels, and marketing materials, you demonstrate to potential students that you have a track record of success and satisfied customers. When potential students read about others who have achieved their language learning goals with your guidance, they can envision themselves experiencing similar outcomes. This creates a sense of connection and relatability, making it easier for them to trust you as their teacher. So next we have networking and events. And networking and participating in events within your industry are invaluable for building relationships and expanding your professional network. So the way to do this is to attend conferences, workshops, and seminars related to online teaching and language education, just like you're doing right now. So you want to connect with fellow educators, potential partners, and influencers. Networking can open doors to collaboration opportunities, guest speaking engagement, and referrals. And so here I'm specifically talking about networking events within the English language teaching industry. Once you've really defined your niche, if your target audience is adults and you're teaching English for specific purposes. For example, maybe you're teaching English to doctors or lawyers or adults who work in a specific field or industry. I would also highly recommend finding and going to events in that industry, because that can really help you connect with your target audience in a low pressure way. So it's just like networking with your target audience and really getting to know them and what they do on a day-to-day basis and what they're interested in learning. And having all of that information will just make your marketing stronger. Yes, you have a couple of different options when it comes to building a website. So the biggest one that I know and use personally is WordPress. And a lot of people think of WordPress as just a blog where people are writing like an online diary. And that's how it started. But WordPress has evolved, and you can have a full-fledged, fully functioning website on WordPress. The thing about WordPress, though, is that there's a bit of a steep learning curve, if I'm being completely honest. And it takes some time, but there are lots of great websites and resources out there to help you with WordPress. My personal favorite is wpbeginner.com. And they have all sorts of blog posts and tutorials and how-tos for building your website. And the thing about WordPress is they have two options. There's like WordPress, where they do everything, they have everything on their server, and then there's self-hosted WordPress. So that's the route that I would recommend going. And for this, you have to buy your own domain. So you have to go to a domain registrar like GoDaddy, as an example, Namecheap. Like name and then cheap.com is another domain registrar that I like to use because it's cheap, as the name suggests. So you must first purchase your domain, and then you need to host that domain. So think of the the World Wide Web, the internet, as a vast piece, as a city or a country, basically. And so then the server that your website lives on is like your house. That's your piece of property on the World Wide Web. And so you can get your own server, but that requires a lot of really technical knowledge. The other option is there are lots of hosting companies out there who own lots of different servers, and you can pay them a monthly or a yearly fee to host your domain with all of your files. And then you would use WordPress to design your website and add all the content. Other options that require less technical knowledge are Wix, Squarespace, and Showit. And so these are really good for if you don't have a lot of technical knowledge and you're not interested in learning that technical knowledge. They will host, these are full service website creation companies where they host everything. Everything's very easy. You can just drag and drop the different elements that you want to design your website. The difference is that a lot of these full service companies are not very SEO friendly. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And this is when you use keywords and other elements in your blog posts, articles, YouTube videos, with the ultimate goal of them showing up in Google search results. Sorry, I got really technical there. That is another long-term strategy marketing strategy that I didn't really get into, but that is the ultimate purpose of writing blog posts, making YouTube videos, so that people can find you through Google searches. So the first thing I would do is, once you've really defined your niche, is to do some market research and see what your competitors are charging. And I will also go ahead and caution you from participating in a race to the bottom. I see this on a lot of online teacher marketplaces. People think that they have to offer the absolute cheapest prices in order to get students. You don't want to do that because it'll make it a lot harder for you to increase your prices later. And it's likely that you won't attract the best students for you. So that's another thing to really consider. So when it comes to pricing, people will pay you to solve their problems. So kind of the way I think about it is like the bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge. And this is also where really having a well-defined niche is really important, because part of having a well-defined niche is being an expert. And so when you are an expert in helping marketing professionals improve their English communication so that they can find better job opportunities and communicate well with their colleagues and clients, then you become, you're like a scarcity in that niche. You're one of the few people who does this, who helps marketing professionals with this problem. And you can really charge more for that. So it's figuring out your pricing is really determining that the value you provide people, what you help them do, and the results that you get them. And it's about the problem you solve and how sort of like niched down you are. I think you can start with like the four main components or the four main skills of English: speaking, reading, listening, writing. So one example could be if you want to teach young learners, maybe you have a lot of experience with kids in China. We've used China a lot, so I'll just use that as an example. So over time, you might realize that you really enjoy teaching reading skills. So your niche could be teaching reading skills to children ages 6 to 8 years old in China. That is a niche. Moving on to teenagers, the example that I like to give with teenagers is teaching test prep, because there are a lot of teenagers out there who would like to study abroad in an English-speaking country. And in order for them to do this, they'll have to score well on an English proficiency exam. So this could also be a niche. You could teach IELTS test prep to teenagers who want to study abroad in the US. You can start by saying study abroad in an English-speaking country, but that's still a bit broad because different countries have different requirements. So to niche down even more, you could say that you help people, teenagers, prepare to take the IELTS so they can study abroad in the US. And you can get even more niched within the test prep industry. You can do IELTS, you can do the Cambridge exam, you can do the BEC exam. There are lots of different, you could do the Pearson test. There are lots of different exams out there that you could focus on. And even with like IELTS, for example, you could get even more specific and say that you help people get a band 6 or a band 7 on the IELTS, or just on the speaking portion of the IELTS. You don't even have to teach all the various components of the exam. You can focus on just one. And that is really having a niche. And then the next, adults, you could help, for example, moms who have moved to a new country, who want to be able to chat with other parents when they pick their kids up from school. You could focus on like teaching business English to IT professionals from Italy, for example. So these are just off the top of my head examples of niches, getting really specific about who you teach and what you teach there.